All right, we are okay. Okay. All right. Oh, monitor's a little smaller, but okay. Hello, hello, everybody. Another day, another session of me just doing stuff on the computer. I actually had to switch monitors with my wife. She wanted the bigger 32-inch since she was using two monitors before and wanted to try out one big one instead. So I'm actually using one of her monitors that she was using before. It's like a 27-inch instead, but it's not that the monitor is too small. It's just more that um, the height hasn't been adjusted yet, so you might see a lot of my uh, body today in terms of the shot. But other than that, it's not a big deal. Everything else is more or less still the same. I actually did have to restart the computer because um, I had messed around with a few things and settings and things like that. But we're here now. So last we left off, I think if I were to pop this open, restore session. Yeah, yeah. Last we left off with actually building a little web server that would deliver back this simple web page. Oh no, again? I really have to get on Ethernet. I literally um have an Ethernet card that I could put into this thing, but let's do it. Come on. I this I have no clue. Well, to be fair, it is a very cheap adapter. So okay, so yeah, we created a web server in Node.js, right? That just delivers back this simple web page, and then it allows us to actually just copy and paste a command like this into like a fresh install of Ubuntu, for example, and get some of the dependencies and tools and libraries that we want. So that's where we last left off, and I think um, all that code lives in our repository, right? So navigating the packages, we'll have post install front end, right? Oops. Yeah. So then we have, whoa. Okay. Yeah, we'll have the index.js, right? We look at that. It's just a simple JavaScript file that defines Express and creates an app from Express, and it has listened in on port 3000. Okay, so I think that's good, right? But right now, as you can see, let's run our server by doing node index.js, right? Um, we had to access it through localhost, right? But what if we were out of our network, for example? What if, for example, we were in a coffee shop and for some reason we were you know, doing sysadmin stuff on a laptop and had a fresh install of Ubuntu and wanted to actually run our post install script. Well, that's where we either need like a VPN to come back into our local network, or we can just deploy this as like a simple website, right? I could deploy as like a static website using GitHub, or I can just set up a basic VM up on the cloud. Um, to actually host this web page and access that VM instance remotely. Um, I personally think that you should watch me go through the pain and struggle in terms of setting up the VM part and deploying this app, right? I think it's fun to watch. And so that's what we'll be doing today. So um, yeah. So right now, what I want to do is I want to actually kind of polish up the code a little bit so that we don't get things such as like hello world, and I actually want to make this port like a variable, like a configurable variable, maybe like an environment variable where we could just define what port we want to have our little web server here, server program listen in on. So. Um, yeah, let's just clean up the code a little bit with VS Code, right? And I think at this point, is this text too big? It probably is. So let's update. Let's actually address that text, and let's also customize a little more. So let's change the font size to 20, and we'll just slowly make it smaller as we get more comfortable. Um, so I've been in like um capuchin, I guess that's how you pronounce it, theme lately, and I've been theming everything with capuchin. So I kind of want to change this theme here to be capuchin, and then I kind of want to just slowly kind of transform this desktop to just be consistent with that theme. So I'm gonna do that first. I'm going to install an extension and get the capuchin theme with double P. And then I'll get the official one, right, from capuchin.com. I'll install that. And I'm really into the mocha. I mean, it gives nice contrast for me, so I'll choose that. And then I'll install the icons, right here. And then I'll use mocha too. So cool. I have the theme that I like right now. Yep. Yeah, I just love this thing right now. I just really love it. So now, yeah, like got distracted, you see. Okay, so um, I'm going to change this from hello world to maybe like the server is listening on blah, right? Um, maybe like the server is listening on port blah blah blah. So in order to do that, I'm going to just create a constant here called port, right? And I'll just first define it to be 3000. And then instead of app.listen on port 3000, I'll just say port. And we're actually going to make this configurable soon. But for now, let's just roll with this. And let's actually change this to output server is listening on port and then the port that we're listening on. So in order to do that, I like to do string interpolation. So with the backtick, right, I'll do server is listening on, and then I'll insert that variable, right, using that string interpolation. And that should be it, right, for now. So I'll save this file. And then what I want to do is I also don't really like typing node index.js all the time just to start our server. So I would like to actually modify our package.json in this project to add a script, like a npm script to actually start the server itself. So I'll just add this entry here called start, right? And then I will say it is corresponding to this command here. So if I do npm run start, it's internally going to execute node index.js. Okay, so then I'll save that too. And then let's restart the server. So we'll start the server again. And then now we have a new output saying server is listening on port 3000. So if we were to refresh, that works, right? But what if we want to have a different port and we define that through a shell environment variable, for example, right? How would we access that? So in Node.js, let's kill the server. We can actually have a process environment variable, right? So we can say something like this. Process.env.port, right? Or port 3000 by default. So what that is going to do is that when we start our server, we're actually going to first look for a ports environment variable um, from our shell, right? And if we have something there, we can use that and assign to port instead. If we don't have anything defined here, it'll by default use port 3000. Okay. So when we run our program, we're going to have to make sure that our port environmental variable is assigned, right? And so how we do that is we can do that in several ways. Oh, did I do node.index.js? Okay, so here's how we do that. We can either, before we run the program, just define the variable for the session, right? So like, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do node index, or let's do npm run start, right? So we'll define that variable, port equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do npm run start to start the server, right? And it'll say server is listening in on 1, 2, 3. So we try to access this guy again, we'll get I guess a 404, right? But if we were to say 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll actually get to where we want to be because we have defined our environment variable here. Another way to do this is to just do port on the same session, port equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do npm run start. And that doesn't work. So I think we had to do this. Export port 1, 2, 3, 4, npm run start. There we go. Yeah, we had to export the variable. Duh. Okay. So 2 ways to do it. The third way is to actually do it in the bash rc file. So I don't want to get there, but basically you can do something like let me go down. We can actually insert it like down here saying export port equals to 1, 2, 3, 4. We generally don't do that because this is not like a global shell thing. This is just for this kind of instance, right? So it's best to just do it. I like to do it this way here, like port equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the command to actually start the server. And this will be useful when we deploy to cloud because in Azure, we can control what port this thing starts to listen on, and we can set our firewall rules there correctly. Okay. Okay. So we have made our server be configurable for the port it wants to listen to, and we do have this simple text here, this content, right? I want to take a step further and actually make this right here into a variable so that we can change it anytime. Again, let's use an environment variable for this so that we can actually change it anytime without having to change our code. So we can say const URL, right? It's going to be process.env.url, or by default, this one here. Copy, or actually no, I'm going to just cut, right? This URL here. And then I should probably also, and that was semicolon. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. So then after that, we need to change this string here to be a interpolated string, right? I think that's what we call it. And then provide the reference to that variable. Let's say that. So this root route, right? So the index route, the slash route, will return back us a string that says wget qo, and then the URL found in our process.env.url variable, and then that content just gets piped into bash, right? Okay, so technically, right? You know, we don't need to define a URL. If we don't define a URL, it's going to be this thing here. Okay, and if we do define a URL, let's say Bob, for example, https bobswebsite.com, we should actually see that appear here. So let's try that just to test. So I could do something like this. URL is going to be https. I'm not sure we need to escape those characters. We probably should. bobswebsite.com, and then we'll define a port too after that to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do npm run start. And then if we start it, we should be listening on port 1234. And then if we hit enter, we'll see that it actually uses bobswebsite.com. And I did escape this. And I think if you don't want to escape it, you can just wrap this in quotes. So yeah, we're just about ready. We have a configurable script or server here that allows us to control the port and the URL that gets output here. So let's save that and let's actually commit this, right? Let's actually commit all these changes to GitHub. So we git add, right? And look at what we've changed. So we've changed the package, we changed package lock, index.js, but we also want this too. So I'll just also git add the docs, right? And then we'll have everything we've modified. And let's just push it up. So my commit message should try to be meaningful. So I'll say making port and URL configurable. So I add all that and I can hit push. Okay. So let's see if that made it to GitHub. I think. Okay. So let's go to our repo. And then I'll see this here, making port and URL configurable. Yeah. So that looks correct, right? All right. So now what do? Let's actually deploy this post install front end app, right? Just with the index.js looking at here. All right, let's deploy this to the cloud and let's see if we can actually run it remotely. So the first thing we need to do is we need an Azure account. So if you don't have an Azure account, let me see, maybe I'll just put it here. Get one. You could use AWS or whatever, but reason why I use Azure is just because there's no real reason. So I think the website to the Azure portal is just portal.azure.com. And you can just like go through like a sign in or a setup process. I have a test account already. So I'm gonna log into that test account right now and I'll just kind of just shut off my screen. I don't know if there's a point to that, but just in case. And my Wi-Fi died again, but I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna get back onto a different one because this is not acceptable. Okay, try it again. There is an issue. Let's check it out here. You know what? I'm going to also look up my test account. For some reason it's not working. So I'm gonna shut off the video. You could probably hear me still, but I'm just looking up some creds. Okay. Oh, I don't know why it's not working. It should be working. Oops. Oh. Well, you all saw that, so that doesn't matter. Okay, that worked. Stay signed in. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. You should know the account because Azure's going to show it anyway. All right. What's the point? What is the point? Okay, Cool. So I have my Azure portal. It's actually a fresh account. So I tried to get the $200 credit thing, but couldn't get it because uh, yeah, I already have an Azure account in my like family M365 thing, I guess. So anyway, I want to make things very hard and over engineered. So what we want to do is we want to create like a virtual machine here and then set up some firewall rules and expose, I guess, whatever port we want to host our little app. So um, I'm just gonna point and click my way through, right? So I'm gonna just hit virtual machines here on Azure Services. But if it's not here, you can just kind of search for it. So you can like search for I think all resources, and then you can just say uh, not resources, services. There we go, virtual machines, and it should come up right here, right? There's another way to do it too. I think if you to yes. Okay, so let's see, all services, right? From this menu, all services, and I like to just filter from Microsoft only. I don't want to get confused and end up using some other like service provided by a third party. So I just type virtual machine and I can get to the same place right here. And then I already have it bookmarked, or I guess Microsoft did that for me already. So I'll click on that. And all I need to do is just hit create. I think it's as simple as that. I'll just do a regular Azure virtual machine, right? And let's wait for it to load. It's my super fast 30 megabit internet. Um, Maybe that's why I have all these issues. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna make it be against my, I guess, Azure subscription. And I'm gonna create a new resource group. And just a reminder for Cloud Concepts resource group is basically like a logical grouping of a bunch of resources. It doesn't have to be just VMs. It could be like virtual machines, virtual networks, storage, all these things grouped into this logical container so that you can actually manage them correctly. Mostly, I would believe, this is most useful for API, right? So like if you were to do programmatic access and manipulation of things up in the cloud, you would kind of do it against like resource groups in this case. So I'm going to create a new resource group, and I'm going to say it's going to be called post install. Yeah, I did click create new already. Post install. Hold on, I need to respond to a text. Oh, my daughter has a dentist appointment next week. Okay. All right. So, why? Create new. What is wrong? What's up? Okay. Let's see if we post install. Is there like a wait? It says link. It's like a taking us to nowhere land. I can't right click either. Okay, we'll just trust it. Post install VM is the name of the virtual machine. Just giving it any name. And then I want this to be, I guess, in West US because it's closer. Availability zone, just leave it. Self-selected, just leave it. Just leave it. So the availability zone is, well, you can just look at here. It says, where is it? You can optionally specify an availability zone which to deploy your VM. If you choose to do so, your managed disk and public IP will be created in the same availability zone as your virtual machine. So I'm just gonna leave it as default. Security type, I want to do, let's see, trusted launch or standard. I guess trusted. I mean, it looks like it protects against persistent and advanced attacks. And it uses secure boot and virtual trusted platform module. So I guess um, I want this to be Ubuntu. I would prefer something like, I guess, Ubuntu 22. And then x64. I mean, I don't know if there's a difference because our use case is not that hard, given that what is it? I think Node.js is already on ARM. Git is probably on ARM, so I don't think it makes a difference. Regardless of what you choose, there should be like ARM or x86, or in this case, x64 alternatives. So, size, meaning like what type of hardware you want for your VM. This is really pricey. Like, I would just choose something as cheap as possible. I'm gonna see all sizes. So that's how you can actually get there, is just to click. I think, let me just go back, just show you. Yeah, see all sizes here. And then how do I usually do this? I think I usually just like do vCPUs like 1. Is there 1? Let's do 0 to 2. And then for RAM, let's do from 0 to 4, right? And we'll have one that's like 1 vCPU and like 1 gig of RAM. It's like really slow, but it's I mean, we only have a very simple web server, so there's actually a half a gig of RAM one too, but I think I'll be too frustrated using it. So I'll do this one, this B1S, right? There's like some terminology that like there's a meaning to these labels. I just forget or don't know. So um, I did look into it once, and I did know it for a while, but forgotten it all now. For administrator account, this is very important. This is going to allow us to log into our virtual machine through SSH, right? And so we want to provide an SSH public key. For our user, we could just call this Azure user. We have to remember this, right? And then for key pair, we can use an existing public key, meaning from our computer, meaning that we're going to be able to, from this desktop that I'm running on right now, I can actually log in this terminal to this VM that I'm about to create here by just providing my public key here. So I'll do that, right? And then I'm going to copy my public key and paste it into this here, right? So I will do that right now, and then well, let me go through this first, and I'll just hit to the next screen once I do that. So I'm just gonna allow the default SSH port, right? So this is basically like, what ports do you want open, right? So I want inbound port to be SSH port 22 should be open, and then I guess port AE should also be open because I want to use HTTP, but let's do that afterwards just to play around. So let's just open SSH for now as default, and I'm going to paste my public key in here from this computer, right? This terminal. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but yeah, I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go to the next screen, and then I'll have my video up again. So I think it's this one. No, it's this one. Okay, so I've already put in my SSH key, and now I'm in the next screen, which is basically setting up disks, right? So basically the hard drive that your VM has. I'm just gonna leave it as default, but I'm not gonna use premium stuff. I don't have money for that unless people start watching these videos and give me some money. But I'm just gonna use standard hard drive. I'm guessing that's the cheapest thing. And the default for this install is gonna be 30 gigs, so whatever. I want this to be deleted, this disk to be deleted with the VM. And then I want to, I guess, just leave this. Ultra disk compatibility. What is this? Azure Ultra disks deliver high throughput, high IOPS, and consistent low latency disk storage for Azure infrastructure as a service VMs. Ultra disk is suited for data intensive workloads. No, we don't have a data intensive workload. And then we have data disks. No, we don't. We don't have any existing disks, or I guess in this case, virtual disks we want to attach. So let's just move on. Okay. Huh. Still slow. Okay. So virtual network. Here's a chance for us to create a new virtual network for all our VMs to live in, right? I will just leave it as default. I think for now this is going to be the only VM we create. Subnet will be a 24, right? So we'll basically be assigned the last. This VM has an IP that will be assigned. Guess the last like part here will be different. Like this will be like anywhere from 2 to 254, right? I think you can specify other things too, but I'm not that skilled to mess with that. Public IP. Let's create a new public IP, right? Huh. That should. What? Use a public IP if you want to communicate with the virtual machine from outside the virtual network. That sounds like what we want to do, right? But I can't hit create new for some reason. Is it because I'm using Firefox? You know what? Let's do an experiment. I don't have Chrome. Okay. Let's download Chrome. I have a feeling I can't click on any of this because I'm using Firefox, and Firefox is doing something that, or maybe not compatible. I don't know. Let's look it up. Azure portal on Firefox. Supported browsers and devices for Azure portal. Hey, this is supposed to work. It says recommended browsers. We recommend not using ad blockers because they can cause issues with some portal features. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Maybe that helps. Let's go to settings. And let's try to see if we can turn off that stuff. By the way, I should just make this a blank page. It's kind of obnoxious that I would see stuff whenever I make a new tab. Privacy and security. Maybe I can add an exception. So enhanced tracking prevention. So maybe I should leave this one alone. This is blocking tracking cookies. Maybe no, this looks okay. Oh, I don't want to send to Mozilla stuff. I don't want Mozilla Firefox should install and run studies. Maybe DNS over should be no. Oh, that's weird. Block dangerous downloads. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well at least we found some things we can change that aren't ideal. I don't want to save and fill addresses nor save and fill payment methods. Okay, so what else do we have? What else? Do we have like some pop-up blocker thing? This is like a default Firefox, so I don't know what else. Extensions that we currently have? No, we don't have extensions. What is this? Pocket? What is this? Account? Why doesn't this work? Hit create new, create new. Is it? Is it because it's going to do one for me? Okay, maybe we could just change this later? Yeah, let's just see if we can add this later if it doesn't create. And if it doesn't create, I guess we can just use Chrome. But I find it weird because the documentation on Microsoft Learn says Firefox. But I've always told people to use Edge when they work with Azure. Okay, I'm just gonna move on. Okay, so network security group. I guess we'll just say basic public inbound ports. We set this. Well, we want to allow 22. Can we do more? RDP? No, that's for Windows thing. Delete the NIC when VM is deleted. That sounds about right, right? We want to delete this network adapter. So enable accelerated networking. I don't think that matters. No load balancer. Okay, so let's do management. Okay, well, I guess we really do have to use some sort of other browser. You know what? I'm not going to take the risk with Chrome. I'm just going to use something that is supposed to really, really work with Azure, and I'm just going to use Edge. So let's just download Microsoft Edge. And that is available on Linux, so it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a skill thing. Maybe I'm just not skilled enough for this. That's why I'm your average developer. This doesn't seem to want to load too. Is Microsoft down or something? Is this CrowdStrike thing still going on? Or I'm just going to clear up my tabs while I'm at it. Geeks for geeks. Why isn't this working? Maybe because my internet was down or something. No, this is... Okay, this page is slowing down Firefox. To speed up your browser, stop this page. Okay, something was really messed up with this page. Okay, well, we're host here, so it doesn't matter. Microsoft Edge? Wow. Okay. This is not good. This is working fine. Okay, let's go to homepage. Maybe they want us to go to like their nice page, right? Yeah. So download Edge. I totally read everything here. Okay, accept and download. Close. Your download will begin shortly. Did it begin? Was it even smart enough to know that I was running a non-Windows OS? Try it again. Oh, it's still trying. Oh, it's picking it up. Odd. How odd. Maybe go to this direct download here. Okay, let's directly download it. Can't trust the browser anymore. So, let's see. Download for Windows 10? No. Download for Mac OS? No. Download for iOS? No. Download for Android? No. Why is it that Linux is all the way down here? That's not fair. Come on. Now, is that going to download? I want the deb file. Okay. Let's try Google Chrome. I have a feeling it's just maybe the internet connection, the Wi-Fi sucks. Server not found. Why? Oh, there we go. Oh, you were so close to having me install Google Chrome instead, Microsoft. But you came through. Okay. That's cool. Almost there. So I guess we're going to have to use Edge from now on for our Azure stuff, at least. That's okay. That's okay. Let me show you something real quick. Okay. All right. So let's install Edge. So we'll kind of just okay. We have it right here. Microsoft Edge stable. So we do sudo apt install Microsoft current directory Microsoft Edge blah 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 dev. Okay. The big one. It was a 167 meg. Okay. Seems like that worked. So we did Edge. Hi. Welcome to Microsoft Edge. Hey, oh, what is this? Oh no. Ask Copilot. No. Okay. Okay. Anyway, help Microsoft improve our products by sending optional diagnostic data about how you use the browser, the websites you visit, and crash reports. No thanks. Set up tab page. Inspirational, informational, focused. Inspirational. Focused. Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. See your history, favorites, passwords, and more on any device. No thanks. I don't want to sign in. Look, it's funny. Like I have this is a really dark pattern, everybody. This is like really not good for user experience. Okay. Okay. So this modal, take a look carefully, has 3 dots, right? And we're implied that there is another page after this modal, right? It's because if I hit back, I'm here. If I hit confirm, I'm here, right? Now, how do we get to this third one right here? Like as a user, I'm getting nervous right now. I'm getting anxious because I want to get to the next, but I don't want to sign in, right? So it's odd. How do I do that? So my instinct now is just to hit X. And that's like running away from the problem. You're like teaching users to run away from the problem. So if I do that, I'm gone, right? So then now every time when a user gets like an error message or whatever, you're just like effectively training them to hit cancel or X. That's not the right way to do it. Anyway, all right, I'm here. Same thing. I'm just gonna log in again. Then we're gonna get to the point where actually I'll just redo the creation of the virtual machine again, and then yeah. No thanks. I don't want to sign in. Or I just sign in to sync my data. I keep looking at here. It's right here. Okay. Yeah, it's taking a while. Something's wrong with Microsoft, I guess. Stay signed in, yes. Okay, we're back. Okay, let me just take a moment to configure Edge at least so that it's just not painful to use. Internet connect. Maybe it's because I keep being off. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at my switch up on top of the. Cause like, should I just grab a cable? Anyway, let's just maybe that's been the reason why everything's or ad blocker preventing access to expose. What's going on? Copy details. Anyway. Okay. First, let's just make this better. I don't want Microsoft Awards. Let's go back. I don't want anything to do with important browser data. I don't want payment info, so I'm just going to say don't save and fill payment info. Don't show express checkout. Don't offer to save passwords. Don't view autofill things. Don't save and fill basic infos. And don't save and fill memberships. Great. No more wallet stuff. Okay. Good there. Privacy. Yes, balanced. I don't care about this. I don't want sites to check about payment methods saved. Yeah, good. Good for Microsoft to turn these off. Defender Smart Screen, I guess absolutely. Website typo protection. I typo all the time, so maybe. Use my current DNS. Services, use a web service to help resolve navigation errors. I guess. Suggest similar sites. Nah. Save time in shopping or save time and money with shopping in Microsoft Edge. No. Get notifications of related things you can explore or discover. No. Let Microsoft Edge help keep your tabs organized. Don't mess with me. And address bar and search. I don't want Bing. DuckDuckGo. Okay. Appearance. I still kept pushing. Might as well since I'm here. If it wants to load. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna go get an Ethernet cable and I'm gonna like snake a wire up to the switch or maybe around here. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's the cheap Wi-Fi adapter. So I'm gonna turn off the webcam and you're gonna hear a lot of shuffling and noise, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Alright, let's get under the desk. Let's see here. Okay, nice snap. Let's run that down to the desktop. Let's see if we can reach down here, get some Ethernet. Back it up. Yeah. Oh, okay. My back. All right. Okay, this thing here, this TP link, horrible. Trash. Okay. All right, looks like I'm properly on the internet now. Okay, no, I don't want, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna search for cat Puchin. Ah, there is a theme. All right, Mocha, sure, let's get that. Allow extensions from other stores. Does not verify extensions from installed third-party stores. To get extensions verified by Microsoft, go to the Microsoft Edge add-ons website. I think I'll just stick with this. Okay. Ooh, that looks kind of off. Actually, that's good because I realize I guess a lot of you don't want to see like a big white screen all the time. So I'll I'll take it. Okay. Onwards. Okay. Show tab. Wait. Try the new look. Okay, that's fine. Show tab actions menu. Nope. Oh, there's this little thing here. I don't want that. I like a simple browser. Show favorites bar. Yeah, we're gonna have some stuff, I guess. No home favorites button. That's fine. No collections button. No split screen. No browser essentials. Right click hover menu. Oh, I hate this. This is like this. I hate this. Let's just get rid of it. How do I do this? Is it off now? Oh no, why? Okay, how do I get rid of that? Smart actions? Show mini menu? Ah, finally, good. It's gone. Oh, no. Okay. Split screen, enable split screen. No. Uh, Sidebar. This is the one thing I want to get rid of. For sure. Go away. No, that's notifications. Oh, go away. Yes. And I'll just get rid of all that. Okay, I think it's fine. This is we can work with this. All right. Okay. We're back at Azure. And things seem so fast now. Wow. Okay. So now let's go to virtual machines again. Okay. Let's create one real quick. And by now, this should be pretty easy. No, this is what I was missing. This little pop-up. I think it's the Firefox JavaScript or maybe Microsoft's JavaScript was just messing around. Okay. Post install. Let's just do post install. Post install. Let's just call it post install. Let's go to post install VM. We'll have US West. Zone 1, that's fine. Trusted launch, that's fine. Ubuntu 22. x64. We want the other size. This one. The B1S. Great. Then SSH public key. Yes, Azure user. That's going to be our SSH user. We want to use an existing public key. Okay, BRB. Oops. All right. Same thing. Image default will be 30 gig. Instead of premium, let's do standard HDD. Do you want to delete it with VM? Okay. All right. We'll create a new network. Oh, it's a public IP is now created by default. Yay. NIC security group basic public inbound ports 22. Yup. Delete public IP and NIC when VM is deleted. Yup. None of this stuff. Management. We don't need any of this stuff. There's like reboot, I guess. Yeah, just auto shutdown, backup, stuff like that. Monitoring, let's just skip that for now. We don't need alerts on things. No extensions. We don't have NVMe, so We don't need any of this complicated stuff. No tags. Review and create. Let's see, in summary, ooh, it's like 1 cent an hour. 1 cent a compute hour. So creating. Let's add this to our pinned apps. Okay. Preferred email, that's the account. You already seen it here, so whatever. You have SSH port open to the internet. This is only recommended for testing. Yeah, that's true. This is just the test VM. Everything looks okay. We'll hit create. Initializing deployment. Okay, so if we were to go, is this safe to get out of here? Or should I just wait? Oh, yeah, I have to look at this thing. Oh, it does it automatically. Okay, cool. It'll take us to the right place. All right. So we can either watch this or we can. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see if we can safely run our thing again. So let's do this. CD code. This may be useful. What's average dev packages post install for it? Let's just see if we can. Was it port equals 1234 npm run start. So we're on our start script. And then we have this confirmation, and let's bring a new tab here, and then we'll do, I guess, 127.0. Oh my gosh, come on. No. No, okay. No. Stop it. Stop making me lose focus. Okay. So we'll have this. It looks small, but I'm thinking we can actually do a post install on our VM, right, that we're going to create by copying this and pasting it in to SSH, and we'll install our Git and everything, and we'll be able to clone our repo, and then we'll have Node and everything installed for us too in this VM, and we just host it, right? So this is a good use, like a first use case of our script, right? Even though we're still accessing it locally. So at this point, we have our VM created, so we'll just go to resource. Okay, I got it, I guess. So we'll have a public IP address that we can access here. And then we can actually then just use SSH because we have our public key already in this VM. So we should be able to just SSH using our terminal, right? And so if I were to kill this, because I already have this web page, I don't need anything else. I'm going to go in here and see if we can, just run things. So the command, I'm just going to bring this up, is going to be SSH, and our user is Azure user, right? At the IP we want. So if we were to go back to our browser here, copy this IP to our clipboard, come back here, paste it, it'll say, well, authenticity can't be established, fingerprint, yes, trust it, we'll add, and then we should be in. So we are in our VM, right? And do we have wget? Yes, we do. We have wget. So technically, we can just run our script by copying and pasting into here, right? And hope all goes well. Let's see what else we install in our script, just to confirm, right? Anything special we install? And that's where we need to, tools. Okay, so we just do update, upgrade, curl, vim, build essential, GNOME tweaks, which this thing probably won't need because it's a server, but we do need Volta, which we will get, and then our home directory, Volta install node.lts. That's about it. We just need node and git, right? Because we're going to git clone the repo and host it. So all we need to do. So if we're going to execute this command, right, keep in mind we're still connected into our VM. So if we're executing this command, it's not going to execute on our local computer, even though we see it in our terminal. We're going to execute the command against this VM here up on Azure. So hit enter. And then since it seems like there's already root permissions, it never asked us to elevate. So I'll just do an apt update, upgrade, and then install some of the essential dependencies. And that's like a quick way to get everything we need. Maybe just Git and Node for our server. Okay. And it's good to always just run an update anyway, so. Actually, I do feel the slowness of this VM. It's actually, the install is much slower than I expected. Probably because there's only one CPU core and 1 gig of RAM. I'm actually scared that I might run out of memory doing all this. But once we get there, it'll be okay. I should probably also, so I'm like learning Tmux. I should probably like install Tmux on this thing. Um, okay, I wonder if this is it pretty much. Or is this just the updates? No, I see libc. I see GCC. Okay, so this is probably build essential. And we are looking at GNOME tweaks, and next should be Git, I guess. Pulse audio. Then we'll have Volta. That's scripting Volta. We script. Oh, okay. So we do source -rc, and then we do node v. We have node. That's awesome. Cool. We're ready, right? We just need a like. So this is how it's gonna work, right? Like we're going to clone our average dev repo on GitHub, right? So we go to github.com. Do I need to be logged in? No, I don't have a public repo, so I'll go to my repo directly. I'm going to clone this repo, right, using this HTTPS endpoint because since I'm not doing development, I'm not going to push, I'm not going to commit, I just want to clone it. HTTPS is fine. So I'm just going to get cloned to the VM, and I'm just going to run the app from there and see if I can actually hit it from a remote location, meaning my computer on the browser, right? So I'm just gonna do git clone up on my home directory. Let me just see what's in here. Nothing, right? So I'm gonna git clone, and we have git installed. It was from our script, our post install script that we just run. So I'll do that, and we've cloned it. If we list directories, we can go in here and we'll see that we have our post install front end, right? Cool. What do we do here? Well, we can actually then just listen on the default 3000 port with the default script path, right? As easy as that. It will just be at 3000, for example. So we just do npm run start. We'll see that. Oh, we need to install dependencies. Forgot. It's been a while. Okay. So what just happened right now? It's like we have our file, right? And our package JSON. Everything's great. But we can't run our app because we don't have the libraries pulled down, right? We used Express, but we haven't even downloaded Express into this project yet, right? So it doesn't know where to look. So how we usually do this in any, I guess, JavaScript project or Node project is just do npm install to pull down all the dependencies up on the root of your project directory where there is package.json. So you do it at the same level as package.json, and then it'll actually then resolve all the packages. So basically, it added 64 packages. Basically, they're dependent with Express, or at least Express is dependent on those. So now we do npm run start again, it should work, right? So now we're listening on port 3000. So right now, what we can do, our first like instinct, and we can get rid of this now. We don't need this anymore. Our first instinct is that we can just navigate to this web page right here, right? On this IP, right? If I did that, if I copied it and did HTTP, right? And I just pasted this in, would that work? Oops, with port 3000. So you'll find that it doesn't work because firewall rules are like preventing it from working, right? So what we need to do on the Azure side, on the VM, at least for security, we need to open up the port, right? So if we were to go to the Azure VM here, and I believe it might be not security, but maybe networking. Yeah, maybe networking, and then network settings, most likely. Yeah, we'll have some rules that we can create port rules, like open them up for public and things like that. And you see that we have one already opened with SSH, right? So what we're going to do is after we deploy our app, right, we're going to, just delete the VM and it'll be all good, right? But you can also close the port too. So we'll create the port rule, and we want this inbound. We want all like incoming traffic on port 3000 to be accepted by the VM, right? And so then, port 3000 is the port that the server is listening on, right? So it's like, if you think of ports as a bunch of doors in a building, door 3000 is being now used by this server app here for any incoming things. If this was closed, then, anybody cannot visit this server, right? So we want to open up this port. So 3000 it is. So again, VM settings, network, create port rule. So we want inbound, we want incoming traffic. So we'll say, okay, source will be anybody, right? Source port ranges, so from who, which port, it doesn't matter, right? But the destination, who, we'll just basically say any, right? Actually, yeah. And we want to say this is, for example, I don't want to say HTTP because that's, this is HTTP. Well, we can't change it, so we have to do custom. Okay, so we do custom 3000, and we want to do TCP, and we want to allow, right? And we could leave the priority as it is right now. We only have like one active role, right? So then we'll just leave this the way it is, and we'll just add it, right? And by adding the security rule, by opening up port 3000, I believe now we access our IP with :3000, it should work. Maybe, maybe not. Does it work here? Yeah, it should work. Is it assuming HTTPS? That should work, unless I need to put it as a super high priority. Let's see. It says rules are processed in priority order. The lower the priority, the lower the number, the higher the priority. Yeah, I don't think that matters though. We want to allow to on any TCP connection, which is HTTP, destination port range. So, what port we want, right? Oh, did that work? That worked. That was just really slow. I think seriously, is that the performance of one vCPU? Okay, so we did everything right. It was just really slow, right? So now we have this here, right? We have a publicly accessible website created from this VM. right? So I kind of want to show what happens if it's not port 3000, right? Let's say we want to listen on a different port. So we can do it through here by starting up the app differently, again with this trick, right? So port equals, let's say 1234 npm. Oh, did I? Oh, I accidentally disconnected. Let me connect back again. How do I do that? I guess I can't. I got an SSH Azure user at this IP again. Overview. Where am I? This one. Yes. Huh? Oh, I am here. I'm just so confused. Oh, because I got thrown off from this because I have the same path. Okay. Whatever. Alright. That's why we read. Okay. Okay, so I could do port. So where am I? Let's get us ourselves back. Okay. So I'm on port. I'm gonna do port 1234, right? And then I'm gonna do npm run start. Okay. And then we should be listening on port 1234. So if we were to go back and try to navigate to our page again on port 3000, it doesn't work because it's closed or there's no server listening on it. The door is open, right? So it says connection refused. The door is open, but there's nothing there, right? So if we tried 1234, we're going to find out it still doesn't work. Why? Because we actually didn't open the firewall port, or we didn't open the port in the firewall for port 1234. So if we were to do that and edit instead of 3000, 1234, right? Hit allow, right? We can actually try to request again after maybe, I don't know, a second or so. Or maybe let me close the tab. Maybe it's faster if I do that. Probably takes some time. Wow. I should be patient though. It should work though. By just opening up that port, everything should start working again, like that, right? So I'm just gonna leave it at 1234 right now. But I want to actually show like how we can actually customize this URL without having to restart, or I guess we should restart the server, but how to actually customize the URL now. First, I want to show you two ways. Two ways, all right? First from here, right, when we start the app, and next from what we call like from this VM page where we can actually set environment variables somewhere in here. I think it's going to be in setting. It's configuration. No. It's going to be properties. No. It's going to be. It's got to be here somewhere. If it's not, then I guess that's it. We'll just start it up from the other side. Should be like a. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. Yeah, I think I'm just remembering correctly. I remember you could also set environment variables here, but I guess that doesn't work here the way I thought it would. So maybe I was just speaking out of my behind. Okay, well, I guess we can just set the environment variables this way. It's all the same. So we do have this now publicly available. Let's see if we can access this from another computer. Pretend, right? And this is actually from a different network. We didn't bridge this network at all. I think we did NAT, I believe. Let's see, network. Yeah, we did NAT. So we're in a different network for this one here. So I'll start this VM. And then I'll navigate to this website. Let's see if I can make this a tiny screen. How it works. Let's get rid of this. Okay. We're gonna go to HTTP 20.3.139.70 colon 1224. There we go. So we can actually visit this site elsewhere. So that's pretty cool, right? And I'm gonna stop here, right? Like that's good enough. But I do want to show you how to delete the VM if you're not wanting this anymore. But basically, you can reach the server now with this IP and this port for yours, right? For your VM. But I think next time we're gonna like learn how to make this prettier with maybe like a small like redirect domain name. So be some abc.xyz.net, you know, and we don't ever have to remember the IP again. So maybe that's like for next time. But I think this is a good stopping point. We actually are now online. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop the VM, right? So, uh, yes, I'm gonna stop the VM. So then my SSH is unreachable, right? So nobody bad can come in, I guess. I don't know if it works that way, but whatever. Um, did it stop? Oh, it did. Yeah, see, it says connection to block closed by remote host. Connection to block closed. So if we did try to SSH again, it probably wouldn't work. Yeah, because it stopped now. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. We'll continue on next time. I keep looking at this, but